All right. Guess we had to do this sooner or later.
NXT.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, it's not
Almost said
Wednesday
Wednesday.
anymore.
Um, I am your host, Liz. I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host, Marcus. And let me tell you something real quick.
hmm
This was perhaps one of the most miserable evenings of my life. I hated this.
Was it because of the content?
Just because of everything surrounding the content.
Uh-huh.
Content was fine, like it was not a here or there show.
hmm
That like it wasn't horrible, it just wasn't grand.
Right.
It was it had the main roster problem of like I see these people all the fucking time. I don't need to see them today. The only thing that was like actually interesting was Trey Baxter versus Odyssey Jones, in my opinion.
You didn't enjoy Pete
Pete,
and Ilya?
all right, Pete and Ilya as well. My brain is still processing that. We don't have the information on it yet.
hmm
Um, I didn't have fun.
I thought it was like decent. Um, the setups were a lot more fun than the actual matches. Like the Adam Cole Kyle setup, that was fun. The LA Knight Cameron Grimes stuff was fun. Uh, um, the Johnny and Dexter stuff was fun. Um, but yeah, I think this suffered very much from the releases and the general vibes that were coming off, whether they were backstage or amongst the crowd.
The sentiment was not unnoticed, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but it was the go homes go home. It's typically how they are. You got the setups. You had Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly having their setup with the 2 out of 3 falls announced, with the first fall being the traditional, the second fall being a street fight, and the third fall being steel cage match. You had Ilya and Walter on NXT Prime. Um, Odyssey Jones versus Trey Baxter for the breakout tournament. Um, and a more prominent Gigi Dolan this time around. She seems like a mainstay now. Um, and
Matt riddled me, dude. Fucking Matt riddled
well,
me.
I wouldn't compare what she did to what Matt Riddle did. It's
Oh,
drastically different.
I'm not saying that what she did and what Matt Riddle did are the same thing. What I'm saying is that I was really into Matt Riddle.
hmm
I was super hyped when we first started watching NXT. I was so excited to see him. I was so excited when he got called up. And the moment that like I really was like, I like this guy, everything came out. And Gigi, I was like, oh, she seems really cool. And then she did some stupid shit, and I was like,
What did she do again?
she just defended Darby, which was it's one of those things where it's like, I get it, you dated him, and your experience was great, and that's fantastic, but you don't have room to say that somebody else's experience was not awful. Like,
I feel like there's still room to enjoy her as a performer.
yeah, she's an alright wrestler.
She's got a great
Nothing I saw
finisher.
from her today was her finisher is pretty cool. But
There was nothing I saw that I enjoyed, but her finish was nice.
her finisher is pretty cool, but everything else was just kind of like Esselin.
Um,
We should go now because that's probably where NXT is headed.
but it does seem like Mandy Rose might pick her up, take her and JC Jane under her wing, which it might seem like they have a little bit of a bombshell tagged, a bombshell stable or faction.
You think that didn't you say that Ruby Wright used to be Lacey Lane?
No, no. Kaden Carter is Lacey Lane.
Do you think that JC Jane got Aiden's like blessing to basically do the same fucking name?
Who knows?
It's one of those things that's been in the back of my head this whole time. I'm like,
Wonder if she just stole it.
I don't feel like that's not the best idea if you're on the same brand as the person. Seems like there might be a little heat on you.
But yeah, so we might see some. Sorry, there's a bug. I'm excited to see where Mandy takes Gigi and JC, because if Mandy does do like a gimmick that's not just hot blonde woman, it might be something that's actually really well done, because she's a great wrestler. I don't know if she's gonna wrestle or just manage, but
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about with this Raw, or with this NXT, not Raw.
Uh-oh. Freudian slip?
I was just thinking about how last Raw got a better rating than this NXT. But one big thing to mention is Ember Moon was not clear to wrestle for whatever reason. And Dakota Kai had to replace her in her match against Saray. No idea what's happening with Ember Moon, whether it's an injury, COVID, or something to do with the release or getting called up, something like that. Who knows?
Is this like how it's just going to be from now on? People are going to challenge Saray and then get called up? Is that like the key?
Maybe. Although, no,
I feel like
Tony never got that match.
Ember never got her match either.
Hmm.
Tony agreed to the challenge, though.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like it would suck if Ember was called up, because Ember specifically said that she wanted to go back to NXT.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go back to the main roster.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
I don't know. But you want to do you want to do the news?
Yeah, let's talk about the news, buddy.
Is there news?
There is, like, there's some big pieces, not big, but like there's some meaty pieces of news, but not a ton of pieces of news. You catch my drift?
No.
Okay. So as we were saying, tense fucking times right now at the Performance Center. Apparently, the vibe today, according to WrestleVotes, they said that the mood at the PC today ahead of tonight's NXT show, ... Hoo boy. Tension's running high, to say the least.
Yeah. And a fan had tweeted saying, she was in attendance, and she tweeted, so we started off with our usual "We are NXT" chants, and someone yelled back, "We were NXT." So the vibes tonight, they are off. And apparently the vibes are off backstage too.
I wonder why. They broke up a faction. They kind of fucked up a feud.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of fucked up a previous faction.
Johnny Gargano has showed some displeasure on Twitter.
He liked the Young Bucks tweet,
He liked the Young Bucks tweet, and he also posted a GIF of him and Tommaso Ciampa sitting on the apron doing the patting on the back thing and the clapping. Because, as we see in this episode, Ciampa's also pissed about it. He dropped something.
Ciampa took a fucking stab, and I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that
we're assuming it had to do with what's happening at NXT.
Yeah. Also, that I moved back so hard that my whatever part of my hair this is in my bun just went whoop. He said, "Oh no." Um, but yeah, it's tough times right now. You basically broke up one of the. I mean, you broke them up, but like it really broke up one of the longest running, most illustrious factions that NXT ever had. By releasing
Diamond
Bobby Fish,
Mine.
because there's exactly. But yeah, I mean, they fucked over Diamond Mine. They fucked over people that were really not just like fan favorites, but also it seemed like backstage favorites, like
Yeah.
Bronson.
Welcome, Morgan's Mist. Long time no
Hi,
see.
Morgan Mist.
Got his first shot today, so he said he's all fucked
Hey!
up.
I mean, not great that you're fucked up right now, but like, hey, congrats.
It's a vaccine high.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, what did they expect?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Vince, because this is just Vince. I don't think Vince cares about what the vibe is on an NXT.
Yeah, no. And the vibe itself is apparently, let me cut my hair real quick while I try to pull up this article. Not exactly being helped by the fact that right now, apparently Adam Cole has not re-signed a contract. There were rumors that he had. But a new report, according to Russell Talk, provided an update on the WWE contract status of Adam Cole ahead of his current deal expiring later this month. And they go on to say that it has been reported that he agreed to an extension. It is not true. Apparently, he did discuss a long-term deal with Vince, but apparently right now there isn't a huge push to keep Cole in the WWE. Attempts are being made. But a source apparently claimed that if fans knew what the instructions were for Cole's role on the main roster, no one would be all that excited about it. And it's just not looking so good right now.
Also, thank you for Agilities for the follow.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, purely as a fan, I want to see Adam Cole get the fuck out of there, because that is a train wreck. I've got a little bit of news that's non-WWE.
Is it about?
It's about Max Caster.
Okay, I'll let you do that piece.
Okay.
I'm not breaking this up today, unfortunately. Normally I would, but
So as some of you may know, Max Caster dropped a rap on, as he always does, on Dark last week. It was edited out.
Sure there's a video somewhere.
I'm sure. But it caught hot water, and fans were not pleased. Neither was Tony Khan.
Because he made a rape joke, basically, or made a joke out of a rape case.
He made a joke about the Duke rape trial.
Which is not smart.
And Fightful has reported that Max Caster is still with AEW, but his appearances are on ice for now. And the Acclaim have been edited out of tonight's episode of Dark, and no details on how long Caster will be on ice for. And what exactly that entails. Hopefully it entails him getting an editor to review his raps to make sure that they're good before he goes out there.
You know, a conscience. Also, his Twitter bio. Which you told me about.
Oh, right. Yes. Apparently thank you for reminding me. He removed all mentions of AEW and the Acclaimed from his Twitter. No idea why? I mean, hopefully he's not just being immature,
Sant?
a pissant. Um, hopefully there's an actual reason behind it. But right now it just looks like he's being a little immature about the situation.
Just like, it makes me dislike him more. Like,
Well,
it sucked to find out that
we don't know that's why he did that.
Right. But it doesn't sit right, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's let me double check because things could have changed because that we got that like a few hours ago. I just want to make sure that he didn't. Okay. Oh God, lost him. Yeah, I legit went into his Twitter profile, and for a like a millisecond, I saw all the AEW ads and all that, and then they all just disappeared. So yeah, he's removed all of the mentions of AEW and the Acclaimed. God, he was one of my favorites, man. This sucks.
Like, part of me thinks, oh, well, this also sucks for Anthony Bowens.
Yeah.
But then part of me says, well, did he know about the rap beforehand? Like, did Max just go out there? Does he go out there and just not tell Anthony?
But he
must tell Anthony.
He normally clears it with people backstage. I don't know if Anthony's one of them.
I would think that his tag team partner would have to know.
I mean, just because they're tag team partners doesn't mean they're good friends.
Yes, that's fair.
I mean, I always thought the Acclaimed were like good friends, so you would think that Max would have cleared it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, not only did you fuck yourself over, you kind of fucked over people that are tangentially related to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and like this whole time, I had been saying to you, the jokes about Julia Hart were making me like a little uncomfy because it's like, she's like a 19-year-old.
That was like,
stop.
That was like dancing a fine line already.
Yeah.
But then he decided to just hop off the line and dance around the other side.
Yeah. He ruined a feud that was supposed to happen. Now Anthony Bowens isn't on TV. And he fucked over himself. And it's just one of those things where it's like, just doesn't seem like, even if he didn't remove these things because he's like being pissy about stuff, even if that's not the case, not a good look.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a reality where he just didn't rap about that and everything's fine. But I do want to say kudos to AEW for actually like making Max Caster accountable for this.
Yeah. He's gonna be out for a while because he's attending sensitivity training like Sammy Guevara did, but whatever. It's just for that to happen on the dark after Fight for the Fallen. It looks. And you know, good on Tony Khan for the response that he had, at least.
And taking
can at least say
into
that
his own hands.
Fortunately, it seems.
As
much as we hate millionaires, it does seem to be hard work. Anywho, a piece of news. Sort of a... I don't know. I don't know if this is a bright spot or not. So Fightful put out an article about Bray Wyatt, about his absence, which we sort of talked about. But it turns out that basically while he was out, he was working on adding a bunch of different like elements to the Bray Wyatt Fiend storyline. He had like family stuff scheduled for May and June. Like he clearly had no fucking clue this was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only conclusion that we can come up with is that like they kept him off TV to push Alexa Bliss. It's just weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same. Bray Wyatt did tweet was it yesterday. An image of a what you could probably say is like a demon of some sort.
Yeah. Some masked figure.
That says you can't kill it. So
Yeah, because Elias is going to come back as the Fiend.
Marcus.
I saw that theory thrown out there on the internet today. And that's fucking wild. That's a possibility that doesn't seem that far out there for WWE.
Really doesn't. Whatever, man.
Also, you want to know an interesting fact? The Miz has been in WWE for 15 years. Since 2006.
Impressive.
Alright, so that's all the news you said?
I got for you.
Alright, so you want to get into the episode? Into the recap?
Yeah.
So,
I didn't highlight. I was gonna say. I just didn't highlight any of my notes today.
That's okay. Neither did NXT. So we started off immediately with Dakota Kai versus Saray.
Yeehaw, we did. Oh, Saray goes in for a handshake, and Dakota says nope. The wrist lock on Saray, which Saray very slowly breaks out of. She reverses it on Dakota. Dakota starts punching Saray in the corner. Saray sends some knees to the jaw of Dakota. Goes for a nice big vertical suplex. Then gets a little leg submission, of calf crusher type of vibe. It's basically the thing where she like does the calf crusher type of vibe, and then like she bends backwards and like grabs the person's neck.
Can I stop
And you look like
for a
you're about to
second?
drop some shit on me.
Can I get... Taz just tweeted out with
God.
no context. Big bag of bullshit. Nothing else. That's it. Big bag of bullshit.
Okay.
Probably tweeting about the Mets and the game being delayed. But that's like...
Because it's raining.
That was like hours ago that happened. I don't know. Was he just drafted to NXT and then released
Oh.
before he can even get there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she gets her little like submission calf crusher type deal, bends backwards, tries to grab Dakota's neck, to like wrench her up. Dakota breaks the hold by pulling Saray's hair and kind of dragging her up face level. It's innovative. So starts choking Saray out against the ropes. We get a suplex to Saray, but Saray bridges out. We get another cover, another bridge out. Saray goes for like the deepest calf crusher I have seen in a hot minute. This bitch was trying to get Dakota's fucking toes to touch her fucking head. I did not like it. Saray then gets a double stomp off the ropes to Dakota, hits a Northern Light suplex, but can't hook the cover in. She goes for the German suplex with a bridge right at the end, but no luck there. The foot across the face of Saray, and they're exchanging blows. Dakota gets the scorpion kick, but Saray drop kicks Dakota. There's another drop kick in the fucking literal mouth. Goes for a second, but luckily Kai avoids. Sends a boot of her own into Saray's face. Saray then hits like this weird fucking like sunset flip type vibes. I don't know. It was like almost like a Hurricane Rana, but like if you rolled through on the Hurricane Rana.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand this one. A couple of spinning kicks to the jaw of Kai. Kai gets a fucking basically a haluva kick to the face of Saray to win. And then Kai's like, I'm gonna finish her off. And then Raquel comes in and Dakota Kai fucking escapes the ring as fast as I've ever seen somebody run out of a ring. It was smooth.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how that's going to go between Raquel and Dakota. I feel like it could go either way. But considering that Dakota's already had some dark matches for the main roster, she might lose and then be on the fast track over there. Yeah. I'm also thinking... What's that?
It's weird that I want Dakota and not Raquel.
Why?
I guess they kind of want more like divas, proportioned wrestlers. Raquel's too strong.
Yeah, I mean, they can't have the women larger than the men, Liz. Or they can't have more than one on each brand. They have Nia Jax on Raw and Tamina on SmackDown. Only one big woman per brand.
Charlotte's pretty big.
Charlotte is big, but
She's like deceptively big. Like she like walks around like with this like relatively, I don't know how to put it, but like normal looking figure, I guess. And then like she's in her gear and you see all of her fucking muscles and you're like,
mm-hmm.
the fuck do you keep those?
Yeah. Rhea Ripley's also big. But I was also just thinking they're probably gonna debut Kaylee Ray at TakeOver. And then I mean they're moving Walter to NXT Prime, looks like. So I wonder what's happening with NXT UK, if anything's happening at all. Because I mean, as we see with 205 Live, it seems like they're gutting it. I hope they're not doing the same with NXT UK. But at the same time, it seems like it costs them nothing, considering nobody on that roster makes a livable wage. God. Yeah, so after that, we get Indy Hartwell and the Garganos getting... Indy's getting ready for her date. Johnny and Candace are in the kitchen talking. Johnny says, "Do you want Indy growing like Austin did? We had to make a date with... we have to make a date with Dexter work." The doorbell rings. It's Dexter. Johnny says, "Hello, Dexter. Come on in." Candace is in the bathroom talking with Indy, and she says, "Do you need protection?" Indy says, "Candace, I'm a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. I don't need protection." Oh, that was good. That was good. Johnny is talking to Dexter. He says, "So what are your intentions with Indy?" He's silent. "Nothing, huh? You're going to take her to a nice restaurant and show her a nice time and bring her here by 10. They both leave, and then we go to, for some reason, hit row in a truck. Like a truck bed.
I've got problems with this one, but we'll keep going.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So Ashante said, this started when Legato started talking spicy. BFAB said, the way y'all jumped on Swerve. Swerve says, when you snatched my grill, you disrespected Hit Row and our culture. You want to comment on that?
Hit Row, you guys also disrespected their culture.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. This whole feud makes me like feel a little bit like.
And then Swerve threw a luchador mask in the fire.
To be fair, was what Legato was kind of against in the first place.
Yeah, they would be supportive of that.
Yeah.
Although, I mean,
they're wearing masks more often though.
Well, I think Legato was all about like appreciating the tradition, but moving forward with Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, I guess. Then we get Ilja Dragunov in the ring. He says, I'm not a man of the big words simply because where I come from, words didn't mean anything. The struggle has meant something. The blind belief in the fighting spirit has meant something. I put the strength not into my mouth, but my fists. With these fists and with everything else I will make the unthinkable. On August 22nd at TakeOver, you will witness chaos. You will witness rage. History will be made. An unbeatable kingdom will fall. When I will end Walter's reign and become NXT UK champion. At TakeOver, Pete Dunne comes out. You owe me a big thank you. Without me traveling the world with the UK championship and carrying the entire continent of Europe on my back, you don't get to compete against Walter. If I stayed in the UK, I would have put you in your place a long time ago. Ilja says, Pete, you seem to have a lot of big words. I'm not here because of you or anything else. I will make the impossible possible and beat Walter. That's something you can't change. It's something you never did, but that's in 2 weeks. How about you showing me that your words aren't as strong as your will to fight tonight? Pete says, you must be as mad as you look. I promise you after tonight you won't make it to TakeOver. And you know what? Maybe, who knows?
Ask a question.
Yeah.
Where's Oni lurking? Where is he?
You know,
what'd they do with him?
Well,
I want to know.
I'm all frightened. I'm all frightened right now.
I'm interested.
Has somebody checked on Danny Burch?
If Busick out there, he only responds to that name. And the fact that we saw Tim and Tommaso today, I was like,
yeah.
The merch sales must be fantastic for them.
We didn't see Legato at all today. Not one bit.
Dude, they're older than they look.
Mm-hmm. So we get LA Knight and Cameron Grimes in the locker room.
This is the worst thing that could have ever happened to me.
So LA Knight's in an interview and he says, "Here's my butler, dummy. If anyone left anyone hanging, he left me hanging. He lost the match, yeah? Don't worry about Ted DiBiase. Ain't nothing special here. He's a damn good butler, yeah? There is only one man who runs this. Whose game is it? It's LA Knight's game. Here, put the title on my shoulder, dummy." Miriam said, obviously Oni is making sure Ridge doesn't blow his ankles out again. Maybe Ridge and Oni have like a thing, like the two guys on each other's shoulders with the trench coat on. We didn't see Ridge take off the trench coat last week, so who knows?
Maybe they were one of the security guys today with the Adam and Kyle face-off.
Maybe that wasn't actually Parker Boudreaux.
It's just Ridge morphed into someone else with Oni.
Yeah.
Their powers combined.
So after that, we go to the ring after commercial and get LA Knight versus Andre Chase.
This was a match where I said, I literally looked up and I was like, how did we get this fucking far into it? Like, I did not.
I mean, it was only like a 2-minute match, so if even that.
Fair. Maybe that's why when I think back to it, I'm like, I don't remember this happening. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know why. Because there was an arm drag tonight, and then a second one, and then a kick to the midsection of Chase, and a forceful DDT for LA Knight to win. That's it, baby!
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a little piece of news that we didn't talk about. It's nothing to do with NXT. Ring of Honor, because of COVID in Florida, they're relocating their pay-per-view event, Death Before Dishonor. No idea where it's going to be now. They said details will come, but it will no longer be in Florida.
Maybe all those Floridians will get their vaccinations now.
We'll see. Also, Nick Gage has an action figure now.
When it comes with a pizza cutter.
You know what? Maybe. Oh yeah, it actually does. It actually does come with a pizza cutter.
Murder, death, kill gang, yeah! Goofy shit.
Fucking, God, I have so much respect for Nick Gage just making that his career.
You know what? Someone's gotta do it, and he's the guy.
Yeah.
And people like him for it, so... on him.
He's really, he's pretty good. What are you looking at?
Nothing. This was just next to me, and it scared me because I was trying to move over.
Okay. Alright. So, after the match, Ted DiBiase comes out, and he says, "This has gone on too far. I know you're a man of your word." Oh god, what the fuck? What happened? My screen went black. That was weird. Stream's still up.
Demons. Telling you.
Maybe it's because I didn't move my mouse for a while. Maybe that's what happened. He says, "This has gone on too far. I know you're a man of your word, Cameron, but you could be doing a lot of other things. When you want to be a butler, one thing you shouldn't be is a butler. You have a lot more going for you. These people and myself believe in you. Ted, what do you want? You come out here, you talk a big game." Ted says, "You need to shut your mouth. You can be whatever you want, Cameron. You need to follow your heart. You want to be a champion? I think if LA Knight put the title on the line one more time, that's exactly what would happen." LA Knight says, "No, Ted, I've beaten him twice, yeah? Feed him all the false hope you want, dummy. You can't beat me. Takeover 36, you can have it one more time. When I beat him, you won't be my butler, Ted. He won't be my butler, Ted. You will, dummy. I'll own this belt, and I'll own you." Ted says, "That's an interesting proposition. I'm a gambling man. My money is on Cameron Grimes. I've got a lot of money. So you're on." Alright. Takeover's looking real good right now. I think I'm actually looking more forward to Takeover than SummerSlam. I dare you to name more than 3 matches that are happening at SummerSlam.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but that's how Takeover always is.
What do you mean?
For the most part. It's always more interesting than the pay-per-view that's happening on the main roster.
But I just find it weird that we're less than 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, and I don't think either of us could name more than 3 matches that are happening.
Let's see. Bianca versus Sasha. Bianca versus Sasha, the triple threat with Nikki, Charlotte, Rhea.
Okay, more than
Beth versus
four.
Edge.
More than four.
Okay. Beth versus Edge. Roman versus John Cena.
That's
Adam.
4.
More than 4.
I mean, you got Bobby and Goldberg. That's 5.
Goldberg.
Is that the whole card?
Okay. Unless they decide to do something with the tag titles.
Probably do Mysterios and the Usos again.
Yeah.
Man, this SummerSlam looks like shit. I gotta be honest. It looks bad. But to be fair, I think last year's SummerSlam also did not have a very good card. Alright, so after that we had a promo or a little vignette of Gigi Dolan. No, it's not pronounced Dolin anymore. She says, "Unlike you, this isn't some job. This is everything to us. It's not about surviving, and I'm not doing it alone." She's talking about Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. So it seems like she's entering the tag scene now, women's tag scene, with JC Jane. And it makes me wonder what singles women exist. Besides Dakota and Raquel and Kaylee Ray. Ember. Saray.
Ray.
I feel like I'm blanking real bad right now.
I don't know anyone else.
Amari Miller.
Mari Miller, yeah. There you go. Yeah, so we get a snapmare after some exchange blows. There's an elbow sent back to Amari. And a second one. Amari gets one of her own in there. There's a neck breaker to Dolin, and then Gigi tries to break Amari's arm for a little bit, then stomps on her hand, and then hits an abdominal stretch bomb, as per Wade's description, to win. Which was a pretty cool move, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I'm hoping Gigi and JC can be like a good tag team and mesh well. Because so far with JC, she hasn't really looked very good when she fought Frankie Monet. Gigi's fine. She does a good job. After that, we had Dexter and Indy on their date. Indy orders a ton of food. She overhears some kind of radio. And she walks over to another table and finds Candace spying on her. She says to the radio, "Johnny, leave us alone. I'm on a date." She tries to talk to Johnny, but he doesn't answer and walks away. And Candace says, "The jig is up, man. Abort." And yeah. Then we get the Cole and Kyle O'Reilly standoff. Adam Cole comes out, then Kyle comes out. Regal says, "Your takeover match will be 2 out of 3 falls. You may pick the stipulation for each of the 3 falls. Kyle goes first." Kyle says, "I have some respect for Regal, so I'm not ripping your head off right now. I gotta be honest, that loss at Great American Bash does not sit well. The first fall will be straight up pinfall or submission. This man is such a narcissist that a loss to me in a straight up match will be worse than a steel chair ever will be, or ever could be." Adam Cole says, "You're delusional. You live in a fantasy world where you're a better competitor than I am. I have proven I am better than you in every way. I beat you one-on-one fair and square." He did. "You hang on to that win at Stand and Deliver." He does. "The win that doesn't even count." It doesn't. "A few weeks ago you decided to smash my skull into steel steps. Unfortunately for you, I want the same thing. The second fall needs to be a street fight. And don't you worry about Mr. Regal's third fall. what it's going to be, because we're not going to a third fall. I'm going to win the Kyle O'Reilly Adam Cole saga. He probably will.
Oh.
Kyle. What did you say?
He'll leave. I said he'll leave.
Oh, yeah. Kyle then says, "You know why I smashed your skull? You taught me. Adam Cole was asking for it. Maybe I'm naive and thinking I can be a good guy. Well, ain't that a kick in the nuts? I've got my priorities straight. I'm willing to do anything to put you down for good. I don't give a damn anymore." Adam Cole says, "Do you hear yourself? How much of a moron can you be? Of course I taught you. For 13 years. You've tried to live up to my legacy. For 13 years you've been riding my coattails. Kyle, you will never be Adam Cole. I am the greatest NXT superstar this brand has ever seen. No one can ever touch me. You're just a footnote in my career. How about I teach you something else? You don't have a killer instinct. You're soft. Fool Kyle is pathetic." He is. Kyle looks mad and looks like he's winding up, and Adam Cole says, "I dare you to hit me. You're nothing." And a brawl ensues. Security breaks it up. William Regal says, "The third fall will be contested in a steel cage." Cool. I like to imagine that it won't go to third fall. So that'd be really funny. There's just a cage hanging above, and then Adam Cole gets 2 pins. That'd be great. Then we get Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa backstage. Ciampa says, "The industry chooses people like Ridge Holland. Pete Dunne chose Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland is not Thatcher or Ciampa. We are 2 men who chose this industry. Thatcher and Ciampa define everything that is pure about this industry. If Ridge Holland wants to enter our world, then let's party." Thatcher says, "Please, sir, with all due respect. Ridge Holland versus Timothy Thatcher. Class is in session." I love Ciampa throwing out like I don't know if it was a dig at what's going on.
It was really well timed if it wasn't.
Yeah, considering both of those guys would be on the chopping block if they are really going through with the large young guys in NXT. After that, we get an Imperium vignette where one of them says, "We are here to protect the purity of our sport." MSK interrupts. They start making fun of Imperium. But then they say, "Imperium, you talked about how our title reign is meaningless. We bring new life into the division. If you want to be next in line for the title, let us know. We're fighting champions." Yeah. And then they do the spray paint MSK over Imperium. And then we get Odyssey Jones versus Trey Baxter for the breakout tournament.
Before we go into this, do you want to hear a joke?
Sure.
I've been working on this one all day.
Okay.
A ghost hunter cheers up his friend in a haunted house just as they hear a crashing noise from the hall. What does he say to his friend?
I don't know.
"That's the spirit."
That was really funny. Oh god, you want to do the match? Just get into it.
I had written that down. I had written "That's the spirit" somewhere in like a script or something, and I was like looking at it today. I was like, I've got something there. There's something there, and I wrote down all my notes on this Forever 21 tag. Anyways, thank you for joining us for Liz's Comedy Hour. So we have Odyssey versus Trey. Trey has his hair down. It's flowing in the wind. Odyssey just shoves Trey, and like they're having fun. They're laughing a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, friends, don't get too comfortable, Trey." Odyssey flips Trey backwards, but Trey lands on his feet, tries to roll up Odyssey Jones. And is Odyssey. He's moving a lot faster than Jones is. But Odyssey Jones then just basically pancakes Trey Baxter, just kind of like spikes him into the ground. I said, it's effective, I guess. There's a DDT to Odyssey, and then a kick to the whole jaw of Mr. Jones. I mean, you saw that shit shift, and I said, I guess it's fine, because he did a post-match interview.
Mm-hmm.
And then Odyssey Jones kind of hits something that looks a little bit like a riptide, a little bit like a bitter end to finish.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And now whoever fights him between Carmelo Hayes and Duke Hudson is gonna win.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, this is considered like the ultimate test, beating the big guy. I hope it's not Carmelo Hayes, because he already had a title shot, if not two. Oh no, he had one against Kushida, and then he just fought Adam Cole. So yeah, he's already had a title shot. But yeah, they have the post-match interview. Odyssey Jones looks excited. He says, "What's up, NXT Universe? You have no idea how excited I am. Look, mama, I made it." And then we go backstage outside of Regal's office, where Bivens is standing there. Kushida's walking out of Regal's office, and Bivens walks up to Mackenzie and says, "I think Mr. Regal has some news for you." Regal comes out and says, "So I just finished signing the papers. Imperium will face MSK for the Tag Team Championships. Roderick Strong will face Kushida for the Cruiserweight Championship as well next week." Yeah, so that's happening next week.
I was having fun today. I was having a decent amount of fun, just like in the sense that like it hurt, but like nothing crazy happened. And then I have to be confronted head on with the Diamond Mine shit, and I'm like, and fucking William Regal being like, he's going to fight Diamond Mine's Roderick Strong, and I was like, they don't have any other wrestler, so
Hideki Suzuki.
I don't think he's a wrestler. I think he's a trainer.
He is a trainer, but he could be.
In theory, just like anybody could be a wrestler. He's not, though.
William Regal could wrestle.
You want him to join Diamond Mine in Tyler Rust's absence?
Yeah.
Man, it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, and poor Malcolm Bivens has to fucking deal with it.
Well, the worst part is gonna be Roddy's probably gonna win, and Kushida's not gonna be protected from losses or from releases anymore. I doubt he's getting called up.
Well, let him go and team up with Alex Shelley again. That's what I've been saying about the Breakouts tournament too, is that like once this is over, I don't think any of those guys are safe. Except for the person that wins.
Odyssey Jones and Duke Hudson will both be.
Duke Hudson, I don't think so.
I think he will be. He is young and he is big. He's a big dude. He's a tall dude.
He's 32.
That's still relatively young. I mean,
not in Vince's eyes. That's an old ass man.
But he is big. He's a very tall dude. And I feel like he'd be right up Vince's alley. But right after that, we had Boa versus Drake Maverick.
Which I accidentally didn't really title this match at all, and I just wrote Drake Maverick.
Nice.
That's kind of where I was after we saw Malcolm. That's where my headspace was. Oh, for fuck's sake. So many notes for Pete and Ilja. Yeah. He's kicked away pretty quickly. There's a chop block, though, to the knee of Boa. Boa just fucking slaps Maverick down. Or, sorry, palm strikes him. I want to get that wrong. Maverick then throws Boa Gets a drop toe hold on him, drop kicks him. Mei Ying, however, so Drake Maverick goes ringside. And Mei Ying comes out of absolutely fucking nowhere and blows some sort of dust into Maverick's face, which was a really cool visual, actually. And Drake gets back into the ring, can't see shit, and Boa hits him with a roundhouse to take him down and win.
Yeah. Also, Ember Moon has addressed what's happened on Twitter. Not really addressed anything, but she said, "This has been an extremely rough month. I am angry and gutted. I was really looking forward to this match and getting back on track, but just got another pothole in the road. I'm sorry."
She might have complications with her ACL.
Maybe.
Or her Achilles, whichever fucking one she dismantled. If it was the Achilles, then even more so.
I think it was her ACL. So after that match, we go back to Index for their date. Indy's laughing and says, "Oh my gosh, Dexter, you're too funny. How'd you like the food? We ate a lot, but I always have room for dessert." Johnny comes in, tries to disguise his voice, drops off some cake, and he says, "Why'd you date Crazy Man?" Indy takes off his wig and says, it uncovers him. Johnny says, "No cake for you," and as they're struggling over it, they accidentally throw the cake in Dexter's face. Johnny runs away, but Indy says, "Don't worry, Dexter, I always have room for dessert." And then we come back from that promo, and Wade says, "These promos are getting more and more X-rated." Fucking Wade. Then we get a Karrion Kross Samoa Joe vignette. Karrion says, this was mostly focused on Karrion. He says, "Everything needed to fall into the right place at the right time. I enjoy hurting people." Let me try to do a Karrion voice. "I enjoy hurting people. Someone needed to cause suffering. That someone is me. Coming back." Oh no, this is Joe. "Coming back is reserved for people who think they're gone. Joe came back like he's Superman, with the red cape, like he's here to save the day. Part of that job deals with slapping big people in the mouth. He has a really big mouth." Do you really think, or do you all really know who Samoa Joe is? He's a lot like me. He likes hurting people. I resent the fact that he's here. Joe just wants to control things. I knew what he was all about when I looked him right in the eyes. Just another opportunist. Joe's getting what he always wanted." Joe simply just says, "I'm here to fuck him up." And Karrion says, "Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe. I'm going to make sure Joe goes to sleep. When Joe goes out cold, so will the past of NXT. In the end, everybody pays the toll. Tick tock." Maybe Karrion's the one behind NXT getting fucked. Because he wants to throw NXT into the past. Or he wants to put the past of NXT out cold. I don't know. But right after that, we have Ilja Dragunov versus Pete Dunne to wrap up the night.
So, we get a wrist lock on Ilja and a fireman's carry to the Russian, but Ilja brings Pete down into an arm lock. Dunne starts breaking Ilja's hand to break free, and then after quite a bit of grappling, we get a calf crusher on Ilja. There's a side headlock on Dragunov after he gets out of the calf crusher. He weasels out of this one, brings Pete down with a headlock of his own. There's a leg lariat to Ilja, and then a big, sweeping fucking lariat to Pete. I love how there's like a clothesline and then there's a lariat, and like in my head, like they're two very different things, because like when I think of a lariat, I'm just like, it takes your fucking head off.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're basically the same thing, but still.
Right.
In my head, they're not. There's a suplex, but Pete lands on his feet. Doesn't matter. Dragunov bridges away from an attack and then drop kicks Pete. A big elbow drop to Pete off the top rope. Off the ropes. And then he goes up top, goes to jump down on Pete, gets punched in the fucking face, Um, ends up clotheslining Pete. There's a fist to Dragunov. They go back and forth like this for a couple seconds. It's a short arm clothesline, so they're quite close quarters. Then Pete starts breaking Ilya's arm with his feet, which was weird. It was a different thing. Dunn gets a nice lariat. He wants to bomb. Ilya wants to bomb Dunn, but Dunn goes for those joints again. And then Ilya does something that I just don't know the name of it. It's one of his like really common moves. The name escapes me. All the same. Of course, I didn't add any descriptive.
Yeah, you didn't describe the move at all.
I have no clue what the move was now. But I know it happened. So he then bridges to avoid Pete again, but Dunn gets like a little, basically a free kick in the ring, and that's a soccer joke. There's a senton.
Was the T-bone suplex?
Possibly.
Was it like a suplex kind of thing?
I literally have no memory of what this move was.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dunn kicks Ilya, who's sent onto Dunn. Dunn goes for the armbar again right afterwards. Ilya goes for his own submission, but gets caught with some knees to the face. There's another armbar to Dragunov, who gets free, gets tossed back into a triangle after he gets free. There's a powerbomb to Dunn. It's not enough for the pin, and a forearm to the face is also not enough for the pin. He starts setting to work destroying Ilya's hands and is remotely successful. A big kick and a forearm under the jaw, a failed bitter end, but he gets the armbar instead. Dragunov bridges free. Get a suplex into a bridge, but not like the traditional type by like any fucking means. Like he kind of like had Pete by like the inside of the thigh when he went down. There was a senton to Pete that barely lands. Walter comes out. Ilya just shoves Pete out of the ring and like kind of stares Walter down, but like comes back, attacks Ilya, kicks him under the jaw, hits him with the bitter end, and Ilya, however, manages when Walter gets into the ring with him to hit him with the Torpedo Moscow to, I guess, prove that even at his weakest, he can still fight Walter.
Yeah. It'll be very exciting if Ilya wins against Walter at TakeOver. Pete Dunne can now say, hey, I beat you a couple weeks ago, so how about I get a crack at that title now? Also, apparently Max Caster has removed all of the mentions of AEW and the Acclaimed from his Instagram as well. But somebody I saw said that he might just be laying low and waiting for it to blow over.
Possibly.
So that's our recap. We now have the bests of the night to go through. If you have a question for our question segment and you're watching on the live show, leave it in the chat and we'll get to it after the bests of the night. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment and we'll get to it in the next episode. So Liz.
It can be a wrestling question or it can be a non-wrestling question. It's up to you.
Yeah, it can be any kind of wrestling or non-wrestling question. All right, so promo of the night. This one's kind of tough. Like, I'm very much torn on promo of the night tonight. Because Ilya was fantastic. The Cole and Kyle stuff was great just because of Adam Cole. I gotta be honest, I'm tired of Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh, hot words.
He's like, they're trying way too hard to make him look like the babyface, even though everything Adam Cole is saying is right. Like, Kyle just keeps coming back and coming back for Adam. Even after fucking he beat him at Stand and Deliver, he still kept coming after him. Even after he lost at Great American Bash, kept coming back. Like Cole put up a great promo, but Kyle is just like, I don't know, not into it anymore.
I get it.
Do you have an idea of what you want your promo of the night to be? I mean, the index stuff was funny, but like kind of disappointing. Like kind of lame. I don't know if you felt the same.
I think they could have done so much more than they did, and there's been funnier. Like I like that we got more index. I like that India's still in the family.
They're still mentioning.
But I think
Austin.
that they could have. Yeah, I think they could have done more.
Yeah, I mean maybe next week they'll do some more, but yeah, it was very empty this time around. The Karrion Kross Samoa Joe promo was actually well done. I liked what Karrion was saying because he seemed different. He seemed like he was a bit better at promos this time around. I think it's because he kind of mellowed out his voice. You know?
Yeah. No, I think so too. It just, I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't land, I guess. The way it should have.
But I think my pick for promo of the night's Cole and Kyle.
Okay. I can go with that. Especially because Adam really sounded like, so you want to hit me? Like, it sounded kind of real. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Adam Cole continued to prove why, even as a heel, he gets over so well. Alright, so Wrestler of the Night. I know what I'm picking. Do you know what you're going to pick?
Probably.
Is it Ilja?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ilja. Ilja Dragunov is the Wrestler of the Night tonight. Alright. Let's go over to Match of the Night. So, as always, worst to best. And then, Liz, you tell me if you agree. Alright, so,
okay.
Worst, with a 3 out of 10, Boa versus Drake Maverick. And it would have been a fun match until Mei Ying came in and fucked it up, caused the dumb finish, and yeah, it was lame. Then next up with a 4 out of 10, Gigi Dolan versus Amari Miller. It was fine. We got a good look at Gigi's finisher, which is pretty sweet, but it was a squash match, so there was nothing really special. Same with the next pick, LA Knight versus Andre Chase, 4 out of 10. It was a squash match. It lasted like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Next up, 5 out of 10, Dakota Kai versus Saray. It was a pretty decent match. It was alright. Dakota was really good. Saray was really good as well. But it never felt too high stakes or too like compelling at all. Next up, with a 7 out of 10, Odyssey Jones versus Trey Baxter. This was a very fun match that kind of carried itself as a storyline, just isolated in the match. Trey Baxter trying to figure out how to take down Odyssey Jones. I feel like there was some inspiration from Lee Johnson versus Miro. I saw some parallels there that Baxter might have pulled inspiration from. Yeah, it was just a very fun match through and through, and the story beats throughout were really nice. And then finally, with an 8 out of 10, Pete Dunne versus Ilja Dragunov. The only thing that would have given it a 10 out of 10 would be if Walter had not come out until the end, until after the match. But I
There's
understand.
one thing that NXT still struggles with that's also a main roster issue.
Yeah.
It's
Like
too much
distraction.
interruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it. They wanted Ilya to go in as an underdog even more. But I feel like you don't need that. You could give Ilya the win, and just his fucking size compared to Walter is enough. Or just have him like straight up lose. You don't need a distraction. Just have him straight up lose. And he's kind of low on confidence going into the match. I feel like it still works. But the match itself was still fantastic. Yeah, the only negative was Walter coming out. But that's our match of the night, if you agree.
Of course I do. This match was a banger.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
It was. So, to run it back, promo of the night, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly face off. Wrestler of the night, Ilja Dragunov. Match of the night, Pete Dunne versus Ilja Dragunov. Do you want to answer some questions? All right, let's start with YouTube. Because Milam has a question. He said, okay, that WWE Book of Rules book is awesome, and I can't believe I don't have it. Do you have any other wrestling books? We do. A couple. We have whatever my dad has given me because he publishes WWE books with his company. Let me just reach over and grab them.
I didn't know that we had.
So, we've got WWE Ultimate Superstars Guide. Who on here is released?
Or working for AEW?
Actually none of them. Maybe Brock, depending on where he's gonna be. But everyone on here is still with the company. How far do I have to go to find someone? Ah, there we go. Chris Jericho. First
Is that
page.
Trish Stratus?
That is Trish Stratus, and there's Lita as well, and Kevin Owens. Yeah, and then the other one.
Was that the sexy boy? The corner there?
That was a sexy boy. And then the other one is the comic book story of professional wrestling. Also, I think this is also published by my dad. I think.
I literally didn't know that we owned these.
You
I knew
didn't
we
know
owned
that?
I knew the first one. The second one I did not know.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just like a comic book of pro wrestling. Again, I wonder how far I can go until I find someone who's released. I think this is mostly old guys though. Like there's Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I don't think there are many new guys in here. Oh, it even goes to like Japan and all that. Oh, there's Mick Foley. Ding. Oh, there's Shinsuke. NJPW. Oh, they have Bullet Club in here. They've got Gallows and Anderson, Finn. I forget his name. What's this guy's name?
Tonga?
Yeah. And then I don't know who that guy is over here, but yeah, they got like NJPW. I don't think this is just WWE. That might be why. Yeah. That's those are the wrestling books that we have. And now Miriam has a question in the chat. If you guys were going on a first date with Dexter Lumis, where would you want him to take you? I don't want him to talk. So it'd be
You could take him to a movie.
A movie, that's a good choice.
I'd take him to like a history museum. You don't have to do a ton of talking there.
I disagree.
I like museums.
I think museums are very conversational.
I don't think so. I don't like talking in museums very often.
Drive-in theater would probably be good.
You do love drive-in theaters.
I do.
So.
I do.
I'd take him to a museum. Or we could just hold hands and like go to a little farmer's market. Go shopping. And I could just be like, do you like this? And he could be like, yeah.
You just drink a Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Pick strawberries.
Alright.
We could go apple picking together and he could carry me on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Cute.
Alright, well that's all the questions we have. Liz, would you like to close out the show?
So, yeah, sure. If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And if you join us in the future, thank you so much. We appreciate it. My water bottle's like half the size of fucking me. Please tune in on Friday for a number of reasons. One, it's our SmackDown episode. We talking about SmackDown.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Please also tune in because it's gonna be 96 fucking degrees, so we'll probably be dying. Need your support now more than ever.
Yeah.
We're about to enter into a 3-day-long hot streak. It's gonna be fucking maddening.
Yep. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. Follow and subscribe. You can stay in tune with all of our shows, and if you subscribe, you can get access to the past 2 weeks of episodes without having to wait for me to put them on YouTube. And you also get access to all of our fun emotes and such. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our previous episodes there, as well as our cat predicting pay-per-views. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a fantastic rest of the week.